I believe everyone should have a story toolbox. So in conversation, there are certain topics that will always come up: weather, traffic, and where you're from. So here's my challenge. This is what master communicators do. Whenever those 3 topics come up, I want you to have one story about each of them. It could be a trivia, it could be a story, it could be a fact that you're ready to go to shift the conversation away from boring weather to something really interesting. When someone asks, where are you from? You should say, oh, I'm from Los Angeles. Interesting fact, interesting story. That little interesting story, like someone the other day said to me, oh, I'm from this place in England, maybe Liverpool.
And
he said, oh, it's where Banksy's from. And I was like, oh. And we had a whole conversation about Banksy. And I was like, that was it. He said where he was from, but instead of being Liverpool, I'd be like, cool, never been there. He was like, Liverpool, it's supposedly where Banksy's from. I was like, really? But do we even know who Banksy is? And he's like, well, we don't know, but he could have been in my high school. We had a whole fun conversation about Banksy. And I asked him afterwards, I was like, do you always share that comment? He's like, yeah, because it creates the most interesting conversation. So when you say where you're from, have an interesting fact or interesting story. I read a book about traffic, literally to have interesting stories about traffic. Like for example, in Los Angeles, everyone says the 101, the 5, the 10. That's the only place in the world where we say that. So sometimes I'll even, like someone will be like, oh, traffic. And I'll be like, oh, so are you a the person? Do you say the? Then we get in a whole conversation about, so like I have little things that create a little bit of juice and I'm always rotating them out. So in your phone, create a note called Story Toolbox and have the topics that typically come up in your conversation and start saving little stories for them.